come fill in this table with me in less than 5 minutes. Some of you are like, what? How can I do that? These 3 rules. Rule number 1, if you have isotopes, you're only changing the number of neutrons, not the protons. If you change the protons, you're changing the element. Rule number 2, protons plus neutrons is equal to atomic mass, meaning if they give you the neutrons and the mass minus neutrons equals protons. If they give you the mass and the protons, mass minus protons equals neutrons. If you give you the protons and the neutrons, protons plus neutrons equals atomic mass. Done. Okay? Rule number 3, charge. You're not looking at anything except for the protons and the electrons. If you have a positive charge, you have more protons, the proton number is higher than the electrons. You have more protons than electrons. If you have a neutral charge, you have the same number of protons and electrons. If you have a negative charge, you have more electrons than protons. With these 3 rules, we can fill this out in less than 5 minutes. Let's go. So, again, you have carbon, carbon 12. Carbon is going to be 6 protons. Again, it's 12. So they're already telling you the mass. So what does that mean? 12 minus 6? 6. Again, your charge is neutral. So you have the same number of electrons and protons. And again, it's going to be 0. Again, now let's go. We have carbon again. You have 6 protons. You're not changing your element. Again, the mass is 13. So 13 minus 6 is 7. Okay, now electrons. We have a neutral charge. So again, it's going to be the same number of protons and electrons. Next, okay, we have our mass. 40 minus 20 is 20. Oh, so we have 20 protons. If we have 20 protons, which element do we have? We have calcium. Okay, again, our charge is going to be neutral, so we have the same number of protons and electrons. Okay, again, we have our charge. So, and I have my protons, so I know it's going to be calcium 2+. What does that mean? Again, I'm going to have the same number of neutrons and atomic mass. I'm not looking at anything except for the charge. So, I have calcium 2+. What does that mean? I have more protons, right? Or do I have more electrons? No, I'm positive, so I have more protons. Okay, by how much? By 2. 20 minus 2, 18. Next. So again, now I have protons. They're giving me my protons, so I know it's sodium. Again, they give me my mass. My mass minus my protons is going to give me my neutrons. I have neutral. So again, same number of protons and electrons, charge is 0. Now I have Na+. Again, it's sodium. Again, protons, neutrons, mass is going to be the same. Okay, what's changing? My charge. How much protons, how many electrons? Well, do I have more protons or more electrons? Well, I have a positive charge, so I have more protons. By how much? By 1. So 11 minus 1 is going to be 10. So I have 11 protons and 10 electrons. Next. Okay, some of this would trip you up and be like, wait, I only have my charge and I have my electrons. What am I doing? If your charge is 0, what does that mean? You have the same number of electrons and protons. So from this, I know my protons. My protons is going to be 17, which is chlorine. Okay, I go and I go to my periodic table. I can see my mass is going to be 35. 35 minus 17 is 18. Okay, next one, chlorine minus. Again, it's going to be chlorine. Same number of protons, neutrons, mass. And then what is changing? My charge. Do I have more protons or more electrons? Well, I have more electrons. How many more electrons? 1. So 17 plus 1 is 18. Okay, next one. They gave me 29, so I know that my element is going to be copper. Okay, and again, I got from a periodic table my mass, which was 64. 64 minus 29 is 35. My electrons is going to be the same because I have a neutral charge. Next one, again, copper 2+. So I have everything is going to be the same. Now what's different? Well, my charge is different. So what's changing? Well, I have 2+. That means I have more protons than electrons. By how much? By 2. So that means I have 2 less electrons, which is going to be 27, and now 2+. Something that I want to emphasize. When I'm looking at my charge, I'm never changing my protons. What's changing is the electrons. Okay? My electrons, so if I have less electrons, that means I have more protons. So that means my charge is positive. If I have more electrons, that means I'm negative, right? So again, that makes it really simple. I hope you enjoyed the system. Again, it takes time to create this content, so please follow, like, share, and thanks again for watching.